Here I'm removing a cab, 56 Ford F-100 cab off of its chassis, which this is sitting on a 1979 Ford F-100 or F-150 chassis. Pulling it back off of here to put back on an original chassis with a Volare or whatever front end. This made the truck sit up too high, and it didn't line up right either. The cab, you couldn't get the cab forward enough to center the front axle, so the axle is actually set forward. So that among other things, it's set up way too high. It looks like a four-wheel drive. So again, we're going back to a stock. So I just want to show how I did this. Same as I'd mentioned in another video of taking that cab off of this chassis. This one I did a little bit differently, but not much. I don't have blocks on the top of this one because I took both doors off. So it's just 3 2x4s like that, bolted to this engine hoist. I tried lifting it with the doors on and closed, but I couldn't get enough. I couldn't get forward enough to, it was nose heavy. So I went ahead and pulled the doors, which made it lighter anyway. Those doors are probably, I don't know, 60, 80 pounds a piece, I would guess. So taking that off makes this just a little bit easier, and I'm all for that. So I'm just gonna lift this off of there, and I'm gonna get it set down on that guy. I'll show you quickly how the previous not previous person, but we hired a shade tree mechanic to do this back when I was a kid. He just stuck a piece of channel iron across the front to hold the core support, radiator support, or whatever in, and then he welded the original cab mounts to this 79 frame in the front, and in the back he simply just bolted the rear cab mounts. That piece right there, that's terrible. Go to the other side. You can see that there, and he just bolted that through the frame here. So pretty simple. The back of the cab sat down too low, though. It was visually annoying to me. It had a bit of a slant to it. So, and then the running board mounts, again, he just welded to everything. I don't recommend doing it this way. It was kind of ghetto in my book, but it worked. I drove it through high school and college, and it didn't fall apart. So it met its purpose, but we're on to bigger, better things now. This is the chassis that I mentioned earlier in the video. Just decided I'll tack this on at the end here just so you can see it. I bought this guy. He was working on the restoration, had that cab sandblasted, replaced the cab corner. The floor is all good in it. Doors are in nice shape. I'll just keep that for if the kids want to do the other one. So I want the 56 style cab, so that one will just be rat holding the corner for now. But he paid a hot rod shop, I guess, to do this. They rebuilt the front end and grafted the Volare into the original frame here. Did a nice job. Cut the outside off here and boxed that in, which is an extra step. Did a nice job boxing the inside of the frame, as you should, to reinforce where the clip mounts to their installs in this frame. So he had already sandblasted this frame and painted it. So the bushings I noticed are already starting to kind of crack, and I don't know. So I'll have to go back over everything and see what needs to be replaced. I don't know if that's from over tightening or just poor kit components, but these front ends really aren't that bad to do. If you got a little press like this, you can zap through most everything. I've done them on not this dial, but I've got a 65 Coronet that I rebuilt. That I had a 67 Dodge Dart for that, and I rebuilt the front end on that, usually using those PST kits. So if I have to do that on this, it doesn't really hurt my feelings. I've got another front end that I bought on 85 Fifth Avenue before I bought this to do the same project. So I've got, I noticed the calipers are missing. I don't know if those are in his pile of parts that I got or not, but I've got that stuff. But all this is the old motor mounts already been cleaned off, so um, I don't have a steering column or anything yet. I'll have to buy a column, probably get a tilt column, and then adapt that with the U-joints. So anyway, and it's got I think got a 60s Galaxy or something he mentioned, a Ford 9-inch. So I don't know if I'll use that or not. We'll see. The width looks good. It's only about an inch wider than the front, so which I think is narrower, quite a bit narrower than the pickup axle that I have in the 79 chassis. Looks like the original. I just threw that traction bar on there for giggles. That doesn't. I'm not even going to use that, but it looks like it's got the original spring packs, so I'll probably swap those out. Oh, and they did this too. Yeah, so they did the axle flip, put the axle on top. That lowers you, what, 4.5 inches, and then they notched the frame, which I don't know if that's enough travel or not. I might have to redo that to a higher, go clear up above the frame. I'm not going to go real low, so we'll probably just see how this works out. But they did a nice job. They notched it, boxed it in, so that'll be fine. So, yep,